Today we're diving into a poem that was literally born from a dream. It's a vision so powerful that it's been mesmerizing readers for centuries, even though it doesn't have an ending. This is the story of Kubla Khan.
So let's just start with the big puzzle, shall we? How on earth can a poem that is famously unfinished, a literal fragment, be considered one of the greatest pieces of writing in the English language? That's the incredible mystery we're going to unpack.
To really get it, we first have to wrap our heads around this strange idea that this poem is famous because it's incomplete, not in spite of it.
Check out the full title here, Kubla Khan, or A Vision in a Dream, a Fragment. See that last word? Fragment. That is not an accident. That one word is the key, and it unlocks the entire fascinating story of how this poem came to be.
Okay, so who was the person who had this incredible dream? Let's meet the dreamer himself.
This is Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He was a leading voice among the English Romantic poets, and he was known for having this incredibly wild, imaginative, and restless mind.
So what was the deal with these Romantic poets? Well, their whole mission, especially for Coleridge, was to do two things. First, take something totally supernatural, like a vision or a dream, and make it feel completely real. And second, to look at our ordinary, everyday world and make it feel strange and magical. This is the perfect way to look at his work.
So with that in mind, let's do it. Let's step right inside his dream and take a look at the amazing world of Xanadu.
The poem kicks off with one of the most famous lines in literature, period. Right away, you get this sense of immense power. Kubla Khan, who was a real person, by the way, doesn't just build a palace, he decrees it. He literally commands a paradise into existence with his words.
Coleridge really paints a picture of a perfect man-made world. You've got this huge enclosed dome covering miles and miles of land. Inside, there are bright gardens, winding streams, ancient forests. It's this stunning image of perfect order, safety, and beauty.
But then, just as you're getting comfortable in this perfect paradise, everything shifts. Coleridge introduces its total opposite, a deep romantic chasm. He calls it a savage place. All of a sudden, we're dealing with something wild, untamed, unpredictable, and maybe even a little bit scary.
And this really gets to the heart of the poem. It's a clash of two powerful forces. On one side, you have creation, the orderly, sunny, beautiful pleasure dome. And on the other, you have chaos, the violent, wild chasm where there's talk of turmoil and war. So how do you resolve a conflict like that? Well, Coleridge combines them into one single, stunning and totally impossible image. A sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. Think about that for a second. It's warmth and cold, beauty and danger, creation and destruction, all existing together in one miraculous vision.
What an unbelievable vision, right? So how did it get cut short? Well, this incredible flow of creativity was stopped by a simple, everyday accident.
The story of what happened next is just legendary. Coleridge, feeling unwell, took some medicine and fell into a deep sleep. And in this sleep, he didn't just dream of a few ideas, he dreamed the entire poem, hundreds of lines, all perfectly composed. He woke up, remembered everything, grabbed a pen, and started writing furiously. But then, there was a knock at the door. A visitor. He was interrupted for about an hour, and when he finally got back to his desk, the rest of the vision was just gone. It had vanished from his memory forever.
Because of that interruption, all we have are the 54 lines he managed to write down. So the big question remains, why do we still celebrate this unfinished poem more than 2 centuries later? What makes it so special?
Well, for starters, it captures the weird logic of a dream better than almost anything ever written. You've got this real historical person in a totally imaginary world. But more than that, the story behind the poem has turned it into this powerful symbol of creative inspiration itself, that brilliant flash of an idea and how tragically easy it is to lose it.
And the poem ends with this really fascinating twist. The focus shifts away from Kubla Khan and onto the poet himself. He's described as this wild, magical figure, someone who has tasted paradise. The artist becomes this figure of immense creative power, someone you should look at with awe, and maybe even a little bit of fear. And that's where it leaves us. You see, the poem being unfinished isn't its flaw, it's the very source of its power. It makes all of us wonder about the rest of the dream, about the masterpiece that could have been. And it leaves us with one final, tantalizing question. What magic was lost in the lines that were never written?